It's the NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see which conference reigns supreme today. It's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Chicago Bears. All that and more coming up next.
About 3 inches of the white stuff has fallen, and the prognosticators say still 3 to 5 more to come tonight in Chicago as we welcome you to football under the lights at snowy Soldier Field. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here as it'll be the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Chicago Bears. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gaudin on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. The KC offense set to go, led ways by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And simply put, for many, he's the gold standard for quarterbacks in today's NFL because of his ability to create, find the open man, use all the different arm angles that he has. He's a complete package, and boy, his team loves to play around him.
First play, Mahomes looking to throw it. That'll be caught by Rice. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now Mahomes on the bootleg. Short throw to Smith. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now Mahomes. A quick throw there is incomplete.
I don't see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Second and 10. For about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. 3rd and 4. To throw, it's Mahomes. He's got his running back out of the backfield, and he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Forced out to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. That's complete. It's Travis Kelce. And Kelsey's going to have a Chiefs first down as the tackle made down at the 33. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Throwing now is Mahomes. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Excellent defensive effort to get to him and provide a little contact before the catch could be made cleanly.
Now it's second and 10. On play action, it's Mahomes. And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it.
Oh, I don't know if he's sensing contact to come or what, but that's a ball he'd love to have back. That could have gone for big yardage, but it just didn't want to stay in his hands. That's a tough break.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. Now here's Mahomes. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good, and the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. Never ideal conditions in the snow for a kicker, but the first test on the opening drive, he passed it.
He certainly did. You know what the unit told me was their biggest issue playing in the snow? You just worry about something getting in your eye as the ball is snapped, and then you might miss it, and there goes 3 points off the board.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
And they'll run the option to start the drive. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Third and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball and pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he will find Scott on the right side complete. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down. They will run straight ahead with Swift. They'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Off the play fake, Williams. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Williams. They'll set up the screen for Herbert. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 41-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
They go play action here on first down. This will be caught downfield by Moore. Touchdown, Chicago! DJ Moore, 41 yards. And the Bears are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Walking into the stadium, we saw a ton of people donning the jerseys of this rookie quarterback, so you know they love that opening drive, and he throws a touchdown pass.
He gave a little bit of confirmation about what they had hoped, right? Because they thought they had a quarterback. They're thinking they have a quarterback. You do this, they believe they've got a quarterback. Look up, elbowing each other up in the stands. That's our guy.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw complete there to Rice. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Mahomes to throw. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Mahomes now on first down. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Here's 2nd and 10. A give right side for Pacheco. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you get your best people in the area to try and take that away.
Mahomes now to throw. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. Mahomes going to throw. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. He loses a full 5 yards there on the sack, and it also brings up 4th down. 4th and goal. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DM.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
He might be being set up here for a busy ball game already. 2 kicks here in the first quarter, and he's knocked both through the posts.
And for now, you know they'll be happy getting those 3 points, but what they really want is to find a way for him to kick extra points instead of field goals.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. Velus Jones now from his end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Now they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Williams. Man, and he hits him in stride. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
That's going to be a good matchup for him. Using him out of the backfield and telling those linebackers, hey, you're not only going to have to try and run with him, but you're going to have to try and tackle him in the open field.
Williams throwing on first down. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. from the 41. Here's a 2nd and 9. Moore, the man in motion. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. Room to maneuver at the 35. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Once again, it's Swift. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
That solid gainer will put them on the doorstep of the end zone. More importantly, it gives them a fresh set of downs. Nice work right there.
After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Here's Swift. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Swift going to try up the middle. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun. Williams looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage. Especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Cairo Santos, former Chiefs kicker, on for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Santos' kick is up and through, and they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great handation, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And that's going to be a Chiefs first down as he's got this up to the 28-yard line. In motion left goes Watson. He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. They'll drop to throw. And incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 52 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. The Chicago offense set to get started. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them. After
the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Williams. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill. Kadarius Toney deep for KC. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Isaiah Pacheco and the offense back out. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
A run by Pacheco on 2nd down. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33. Third and 8. They'll set up to throw. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Hey, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
On fourth down, Matt Ariza is sent on to punt. On the return is Jones. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Up past the 30, second down. Second and 6. Back to throw. Williams. Throw left side complete. That's more. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards that time and a first down on the keeper. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it. Most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 8. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That is caught by Herbert. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Operating from the gun, Williams. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they've certainly gotten him involved in this first half, and on 3rd down, they looked his way again. And what a delight for his quarterback to find him and keep the drive moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to the running game with Swift. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. This is 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Williams. That'll be caught. It's Scott. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 23 yards the pickup there. In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think inclement weather plays to their advantage because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often slip.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. From the gun, here's Swift. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 50 yards rushing for him now to this point. Second down, ball on the 3. First down marker at the 1-yard line. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Back to throw. Williams. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So a PI call going to cost him there defensively. What did you see?
Well, I think it's the right call, partner, because sometimes we'll see officials kind of let them play. But by the letter of the law, that's definitely a penalty.
Johnson is going backwards here, all the way back to the 5-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that play's not going to go in their highlight reel at the end of the season, but the only benefit to the offense, maybe a little more space if they want to throw the football now after taking that loss.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Looking to throw. Williams. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
Santos' kick is up and through, and that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. So put 3 on the board, but from that far into enemy territory, probably hoping for more.
Yeah, I think they're going to get the line talk about it, right? Because you get that far, that deep, you want to come away with a touchdown. They'll take the 3, but they're going to file it away for the future.
And after the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The ball back to the Chiefs and Isaiah Pacheco. Now, the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. Now Mahomes. Complete once again to Watson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Second down and a little more than a yard here. Now it's Mahomes again. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 25-yard line. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Throw out wide is incomplete. Brings up 4th down. Solid coverage by the Bears D.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off. Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good. And that'll bring him back within 4. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway. And the half will begin with a touchback. The Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Chris Jones coming right up the gut, gets in there for a loss of 9. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter. Open man here is Scott, complete. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
On third down, here comes Swift. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
A lot depended on the spot there, and he got it, but it wasn't by much, was it? I remember Coach Madden talking about, depending on which foot the official used, that would tell you whether you had the first down or not. You want that upfield foot to be the one that spots the ball, don't you?
And you and I have the luxury of a couple extra views here in the booth, and he did get it, but not by much. There he goes, left side. Still on his feet. And down to the 7-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 57 yards. I know it's tough to make tackles in the open field, but that one hurts because he got a little bit extra after the missed tackle.
Receivers are coached so well, they have to break at least one tackle after the catch. He did that on that play.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
One more time with Swift. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Swift will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Santos now to add the PAT. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that can make this a 3-possession game.
Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice, consistent gain.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Pacheco gets it up the gut. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 5. Again, it's Pacheco. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Stopped on the play by Jaquan Brisker. Second and 5. Throwing now is Mahomes. His throw incomplete.
That's just flat out a terrific play, because it's rare that you see a hitch route batted down. That means someone read that one really well and was right on the spot when the ball got to the receiver.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Now here's Mahomes. They'll set up the screen to Pacheco. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tackles. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. 67 yards for him on the ground now on that, his 20th carry of the ball game.
The way the game has changed a little bit is that defensive goals have changed in a big way. Nowadays, it's not so much stopping certain yardage or whatever, but it's not giving up big, explosive plays. Anything over 10 yards, you're trying to hold teams below that. When they get one against you, as we just saw there, boy, that really hurts them. It puts them back on their heels a little bit and makes them a little bit less confident.
And this defense just being manhandled here to start the drive. Good push up front, 2 big runs. This one 18 yards and another first. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They run out of the gun with Swift. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down. Now a 2nd and 6. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far in this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. They go play action here on first down. A full left side taken in by Kmet. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
From the 42 now, here's 2nd and 2. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And not a fun game at all for anyone who's playing defense on the field at this point. They just gave up another first down on another good run. I wonder if the defense coordinator just says, let's sell out, play against the run, and not worry about getting beat by the pass.
Williams now on first down. And this one too low. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Caught by Allen. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Timing is so important on a route like this, because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late, because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll try it now with Swift. Strong running. And he is going to have the Bears first down. Boy, that was a tough couple of yards to pick up, but they convert on 4th and 1.
At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the first down.
First down, and they go with Swift again.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB.
He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Williams. Steps away to his, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, it takes us to a 4th down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And the attempt at 3 will have to come from the other end of the field as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. He'll have the win at his back here in the 4th quarter. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Now this Chiefs offense gets set to go again. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Here's Pacheco to begin the drive.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Mahomes now to throw. The ball comes out, but fortunately he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
Here's Mahomes to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 47. To throw, it's Mahomes. That one caught by Rice. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. He'll check this one down to Pacheco. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Now, yes, a two-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a two-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Open man, it's the tight end, Kelsey. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Mahomes hitting his favorite target, Travis Kelsey, on the touchdown pass. And the Chiefs have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So they get the score, partner. Game's not over, but they still need some help here.
Agreed. They definitely need some help, but they took care of the first part by scoring themselves.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it culminates in a Travis Kelsey touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Starting on the ground with Herbert. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. So 4th quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
7 yards there and a first down. Herbert powering up the middle. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48.
108 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Here comes third and the length of the football.
Back to throw. Williams.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.
The Chiefs ready to rock again on offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
They run it with Pacheco from the gun.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there on a very nice third down conversion. I love that play because in the snow you think run, run, run. Big passing play there.
And defenders hate it, especially in open space, because trying to come under control, break down, and make a tackle in the open field, difficult in normal conditions. In these conditions, almost impossible.
On first down, Mahomes. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the chief linemen might have moved. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. Mahomes going to throw. This is caught. It's Brown. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 27-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
Brandon, what's even more impressive is that came against double coverage. He gashed them with that reception, even with the extra focus that he drew from the defense.
Mahomes now on first down.
And that, nearly picked off. Well, it would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's 2nd down.
I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
On 2nd down, here's Mahomes.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And again, it's Mahomes. He had a man open, but he missed it, and it's incomplete.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
So a big one coming now for Harrison Butker. This from 44 yards out, left hash. Butker's kick here is good, and that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. No run back here for Jones, a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Williams. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On the option to give to Swift here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line.
I think as a running back in this spot, you have to understand there's not going to be a whole lot of room to run. And in this case, ball protection takes precedent over trying to make something happen.
On 2nd down, Swift. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
This is something you got to be wary of defensively. And just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Up the middle, Johnson. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
That's what it is.
2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Williams. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will get the lead up to 7. Santos' kick is up and through, and that'll make this a 7-point game. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And after the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Mahomes and the Chiefs. Down by 7. 1:46 to go. They need a touchdown and the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. Mahomes looking for Gray, and he's got him. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. It may be a little short of the 1st down, but I thought that was the key.
Here's 2nd down and 3. Mahomes finding Kelsey. And Kelsey's going to have a Chiefs 1st down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line.
That gets them the 1st down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
Just the 1 timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10. Now Mahomes' throw complete to his tight end, Kelsey. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Obviously a big 1st down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it, but they've got to continue to move quickly.
Here's 1st down. Mahomes to throw it. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, you got to have some urgency here. You got to get the guys back to the line of scrimmage, but the problem is they're all 30 yards downfield after that play.
They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Mahomes. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he will get to the sideline here, but that a minimal gain at best. 3 yards, possibly 4. This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long. Mahomes. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, you're at the point where you had to take the shot no matter the down. Now it's 4th down coming up, but that may turn out to be irrelevant with how little time is remaining.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. Mahomes. Got to have this one. And it's going to be batted down. And we'll go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
Well, you really can't ask for much more than what we just had here. Not only a close game that went down to the wire, Charles, but a clean one, too. No turnovers in this contest.
And I think you're exactly right about that. To me, this is just a pair of offenses trying to find the slightest bit of separation from each other. And they were both hoping that the other side would make the big mistake first. But today, neither side made that mistake. And what we got, a very entertaining game throughout.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears get the win at home as we say so long from Soldier Field.